Right then, let's talk about Bentley, not your mate's mum's beige one. We're talking proper motoring royalty here. Founded in 1919 by a bloke named Walter Owen Bentley, WO to his mates, in Cricklewood of all places. Not exactly Monaco, is it? But WO wasn't interested in building boring old cars. He had one thing in mind: speed, and speed he got. Early Bentleys quickly gained a reputation for being bloody fast, not just fast, but tough as old boots. They racked up win after win at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in the 1920s. The Bentley boys, as they were called, were the rock stars of their day. Champagne, parties and driving like bats out of hell. Those were the days. But it wasn't all sunshine and champagne. The Great Depression hit Bentley hard. They struggled financially. Then, in 1931, their arch-rivals, Rolls-Royce, swooped in and bought them out. WO himself later said it was like being asked to eat caviar off a sewer lid. Still, the Bentley name lived on. Now, under Rolls-Royce, Bentleys became a bit confused. They were basically rebodied Rolls-Royces, not bad cars, mind you, but they lost that Bentley bite. A bit like putting a cardigan on a Rottweiler. This went on for decades. Then in the late 20th century, things started to change. Volkswagen bought the Bentley brand in 1998. Now, I know what you're thinking. Volkswagen, those blokes who make the Golf, but don't be fooled. The Germans knew exactly what they were doing. They poured money into Bentley, revitalizing the brand and giving it back its mojo. They understood that Bentley wasn't just about speed anymore. It was about luxury, craftsmanship and exclusivity. But crucially, it still had to have that edge, that sense of occasion. It had to be a car that made you feel like £1 million, even if you'd spent two. Here's the thing about Bentley: they don't do ordinary. Everything is done to the highest possible standard. The leather is sourced from cows raised at high altitude. Apparently it makes the hide softer. Who knew? The wood veneers are hand-selected and perfectly matched. It's the kind of attention to detail that makes your average Rolls-Royce look like a Kia. But don't think for a minute that Bentley is stuck in the past. Far from it. They've embraced technology like a long-lost friend. Underneath all that handcrafted luxury lies some seriously impressive engineering. Powerful engines, cutting-edge suspension, and enough gadgets to make James Bond blush. It's this combination of old-world craftsmanship and cutting-edge technology that makes Bentley so special. It's a car that can whisk you from London to Monte Carlo in absolute comfort and style, then tear up the track at the Nürburgring. Not that you would, of course. Well, maybe just once. Section 4. A garage of legends, from the Continental GT to the Mulsanne swan song. Let's talk metal, shall we? Bentley has a stable of cars that would make a Sultan drool. Take the Continental GT, for example. This Grand Tourer is the epitome of Bentley style: sleek, powerful and luxurious. It's the kind of car that makes you feel like a rock star, even if the closest you've come is playing air guitar in your bedroom. Then there's the Flying Spur. Imagine a Continental GT, but with 2 extra doors and even more legroom in the back. Perfect for those times when you need to be driven to the opera but still want to feel like you're in charge. And let's not forget the Bentayga. Yes, I said Bentayga. Bentley makes an SUV. Get over it. It's actually rather good, but for true Bentley aficionados, there's only one car that truly matters: the Mulsanne. Sadly, they stopped making it in 2020. A real shame, as it was the last of the old guard. A proper old-school limousine with a stonking V8 engine and enough presence to make a monarch nervous. It was the automotive equivalent of a vintage bottle of Chateau Lafite. Section 5. Back on track. Bentley's triumphant return to racing. Now remember those Bentley boys I mentioned earlier? Well, they didn't just drink champagne and crash parties, they knew how to handle a car. And in the 2000s, Bentley decided to revive its racing heritage. They entered the 24 Hours of Le Mans again, this time with the Bentley Speed 8. And guess what? They won the bloody thing. In 2003, a Bentley was back on the top step of the podium at Le Mans. It was a fairy tale comeback and proved that the spirit of W.O. Bentley was alive and well. These days, Bentley is still involved in motorsport, competing in various GT championships around the world. They're showing the world that they can still cut it with the best of them. Section 6, a class of its own, Bentley in the world of luxury and performance. So, where does Bentley fit in the grand scheme of things? Well, it's a tricky one. They're not quite as in your face as a Lamborghini or as flashy as a Ferrari, and they're not quite as traditional as a Rolls-Royce. No, Bentley is in a league of its own. They've managed to carve out a niche for themselves as the choice for discerning individuals who want the very best of everything. People who appreciate luxury, performance, and heritage in equal measure. They're not just buying a car, they're buying into a legacy. And that, my friends, is what makes Bentley so special. They're not trying to be all things to all people, they're simply being Bentley. And in a world of mass production and copycat designs, that's a breath of fresh air. Section 7. A sustainable future. Bentley's electric dreams. The world's changing, though. Even Bentley can't ignore the electric revolution. Don't worry, they're not going to start churning out electric shopping carts. They're approaching electrification the Bentley way, with style, sophistication, and a healthy dose of power. They've already unveiled their first electric concept car, and rumor has it that an all-electric Bentley is on the horizon. Expect something sleek, luxurious, and ridiculously fast. It might even make a bit of noise, because even in the electric age, a Bentley should sound like a proper car. The future of Bentley is electric, but it's also about sustainable materials and responsible manufacturing. They're committed to reducing their environmental impact without compromising the luxury and performance their customers expect. It's a tall order, but if anyone can pull it off, Bentley can.